going on, y'all? Oh, the question is, how do you pronounce it? Do you say gyro or gyro or giro? Everybody has their way. I get it. Stuff in order here. All right. Look at that. And it even worked right. Little words kind of disappeared in the screen. I love that. How's everybody doing? Everybody having fun? Good, Darlene. I'm glad to hear that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Welcome, everybody. Crazy wants you to share with her, Hope. Crazy. I love the fact that some people think that I hail you and other people on the interwebs. Uh-oh. Trouble. Huh. Let's see here. We're having a little trouble with the stream, it looks like. Let me see what's going on here. Some bad interwebs. I'm getting an error on my end, but it says the stream status is poor, unfortunately. Poor stream status. That's unfortunate. Let's see if it clears up here. Because it was showing good before I started, but let me take a look here. Maybe all the live streamers in Hagerstown are messing up the stream for us. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off some devices here. Give me 1 second. That'll maybe free up some things here, some resources. Not that it should be. But so watching today, I've been hanging out watching all the different streams that are restreaming a young man by the name of Jersey J. And I'm fascinated to watch what's going on. Based on our history, based on the history and what we've seen. And again, just so we're clear and understand this, this is not me attacking anyone supporting, helping the people of Ohio. They are clearly getting a lot of help. What I've been questioning people on is their sudden change from what they've been saying about Jersey J and the Red Squad and where they're at today. Because somehow all of a sudden, he's not just around Sweet, he's come back to Hagerstown. So Lisa Hurley says it's quite unbelievable. No, I find it really hard to believe. The funny thing is I heard he was coming to the Speedway, which I'm like, he's not welcome at the Speedway. So, but what I'm surprised is like, look who's here, everybody. What's going on, RV Hauler? Have not seen you in an awful long time. Welcome back to the stream. I miss you, buddy. I miss you, buddy. You know, in all these different live streams, or all these stream chats, I guess you could say, is we've watched the attack on Patriot groups, for lack of a better word, carry on. And now, for some reason, because it's Ohio, they started backing these people. And again, I have nothing against Americans for America as a group. They are a new group, started, when was that? The 15th, I believe it was, of January. Let me double check here, because I've got it on this phone here. Americans for America Foundation group started, created January 25th is when this group was created. The group was created by Denise Mausuli on January 25th. So I noticed that JJ very quickly attached himself. In fact, he attached himself on, let me see, it's on the other phone. Let me see when he attached himself, because I want to get this right. February 15th is when Jersey J and Jen joined the Americans for America Foundation. So that's when they attached themselves to it. And you know, they went from the whole drama with the bank account to now they're, you know, traveling to Ohio to send aid. And it feels to me very much like they've attached themselves to this as an opportunity for them to raise funds for themselves. And that's what I'm pointing out. Because I have not seen anything from Americans for America group. They have apparently latched onto Jersey J as their streamer, which is funny. So that's what he's doing is one, he lied this morning. He said that his channel was shut down. Jersey J's channel was shut down because of a copyright strike for music. Well, one, that doesn't happen. As a streamer, I have some background on this, and I'll share it with you. As a live streamer who has a monetized channel, if you pick up music that is claimed by, see, Docs and Grandma, you're welcome to stay here. But if you're hearing me and you're understanding, it's not about what they are claiming to be doing or helping Ohio. I believe in that. I do not believe in Jersey J. And so if you'd like to sit around and listen to the conversation and be a part of it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But you at this point have not heard me clearly. So why don't you open your ears for a minute, take your fingers off the keyboard, and just have a listen and understand what I'm talking about and what I'm discussing here. So otherwise, we'll ask you to leave. Well, you'll be escorted out, but it's okay. You know, you want to attack me in chats. You don't want to hear me. That's okay. I understand. So welcome. So before we were so rudely interrupted, Dutch grannies heard you were claiming a lot of untrue things about me. I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa. So, but I don't even remember where I was at now. Let me fix something here real quick. I keep forgetting to do this. Okay. Okay, there we go. But yeah, JJ has attached himself to this Americans for America. And his claim on his live stream is that he is part of this group. I asked, the question was, is it a disaster relief organization? Apparently it is. And he says on his stream that Mona, how, I understand where you're coming from. And you want to say, what have I done? I haven't done anything for Ohio. And it's not about what Americans for America is doing for Ohio. This is about Jersey J and what Jersey J does and these other streams and how they have been attacking Patriot groups. But for some reason now, because it's Ohio, Jersey J is okay. Like, it's sort of amazing. And the one specific stream that I'm talking about is Jeff. Jeff has been attacking Patriots and these convoys for months now and making really untrue claims. And then for some reason is now a simp for Jersey J. So that is what I am pointing out. So Mona, it's not an attack on Patriots. You should know that. Nor is it an attack on anybody helping Ohio. Ohio is getting a lot of help. I don't know if you're aware of that. What we all have an issue with is when people take these catastrophic events and profiteer off of them, which is what Jersey J is doing. Right? So you notice how I haven't mentioned any of the other people that are involved. It's just the discussion of Jersey J. So I'm happy to hear where I'm wrong, but that is the point that I'm making. Jersey J has proven to not be anything but the actual definition of grift. And he has been for a long time. And many of you have pointed that out. And now all of a sudden, those of you who are pointing that out are now going, oh no, support Jersey J, give to, his Cash App, this Cash App, like, seriously? Like, because of Ohio, you've all of a sudden like, oh no, Jersey J, he's our hero. Seriously? That's my fucking point. And Mona, quite frankly, I don't care where you spend your time. However, giving your support to people like Red and JJ, it tells me something that I wouldn't have guessed I would see in you. And I know you stay out of the nonsense, but here you are showing up over here, you know, doing that. So who's FBI? It is. It is. And that's what I've been watching happen. Is Jay and Jen found something to latch onto to make money, do their thing. And, you know, that's what Jersey J does. No. And see, that's where I would disagree is I followed TPC to cover the event, right? Jersey J has implanted himself and is using his platform to, as Jeff says, pay for his gas and his expenses to deliver supplies to Ohio, right? Lisa says, Ohio appreciates every bit of help. Now, Lisa, let me ask you this, and maybe you'd like to join me on stream and talk about it, because I'd love to hear, you know, from somebody who's actually on the ground there. Sorry, let me get this up here for you. There's the link if you want to come on, Lisa. One of the things that I find really interesting is when you do a little bit of research and how you can help major corporations. You think so, Wanda? Is that what you're doing? Good to see, Mona. I'm glad you support Red and JJ. I appreciate that you own up to that. So, you do you. James Trapp says, Ohio doesn't need any supplies. They are doing just fine. They need the toxic waste removed, and that's it. And that's one of the things, James, that I've noticed too. I haven't seen people saying that they need these other things, nor do they need somebody like JJ coming to town and, you know, grifting off of their disaster, right? See, Christine says, there you go. And Gangster Granny says, WYSIWYG, are you jealous because they didn't ask you and you're not? No, I'm not, because I would not have attached myself to that group. It's not even a question. Right? So, what my point was and what I brought up, and the people that I see supporting Jay, yeah, as far as I went earlier yesterday, I thought Americans for America was Jersey J. Everything that he said on his live stream, everything that he did makes it seem like it's him, right? It wasn't until I started looking into that group that I realized it's not even him. He doesn't even represent it in the sense of what it is. He's sort of trying to hijack from Brian, who appears to be the organizer for Americans for America. So, just JJ. Wanda Lisa, in case it wasn't clear. Just JJ. That's all this discussion's about. So, Americans for America is a 320 person Facebook group. But JJ is raising money for them using their Cash App and for himself on his links, right? That is what I'm pointing out. Patty asks, why is this your business? You sure could use in many other towns more compassion for anyone who needs help. I have not been uncompassionate of anyone. Why? What makes you say I'm not compassionate towards Ohio? This is not about Ohio. This is about Jersey J. I didn't say that either. People gave me donations for my live streaming and what I was doing. That's not the question. Jersey J has shown to be dishonest in his intentions of what he's doing. And he's using a disaster in Ohio to make money. And those of you who have been calling him out for months, who are now supporting him, surprised the shit out of me. Do you get it? Okay. That's the discussion we're having. It's not about whether Ohio needs help. It apparently is. Heaven forbid I make any sort of statement to contradict Jersey J, the white savior delight, king of streaming and fundraising, right? Oh, look, Allie's joined us. I won't platform Jay. How about that? Jay has already said that I'm not welcome, according to him, at Patriot events. Because he mad. He's still mad that he thinks that I had something to do with him getting kicked out of 76 or TPC or whatever his issue is. What would WYSI do? So, yeah, I was talking about Jeff as well, because it's Jeff's stream that I was watching. Jersey J's channel, he's got a suspension for a strike. And Jersey J this morning claimed that it was over music copyright. And I know that it's not over music copyright, because here's what happens. For instance, there was one song that played during the TPC that YouTube removed my entire live stream because the copyright owner of the song didn't want their song on my live stream. So YouTube deletes the entire live stream. You don't get a strike. They just remove the entire live stream. No strike. And then you also get sometimes, like, I would get 3, 4, 5 emails. And those emails, maybe I can show you one. Would you like to see one? What it looks like? Do a little search here. Usually I delete them, so I don't know if I have any. Let's see here. Yeah, see, I delete them is the problem, because they don't mean anything. Oh, here, a copyright claim. Here's one. Okay. Let's see here. How do I do this? Okay. Switch this over. Let's see here. Let me go to this one here. Safari mail, copyright claim. Here. Okay. So this is what a copyright claim. It says, hi, WYSIWYG TV 742 copyright owner using content ID has claimed some material in your video. So it says right here, Let me make sure you can see my cursor. It says right here, this is not a copyright strike. The claim does not affect your account status. This is what you get from the YouTube team, and what it means on an account that is monetized is that they will take the ad revenue or portions of the ad revenue for even a 10-second little bite of audio. They'll take a certain amount of revenue from the ads that are shown and give it to, here in this case, copyright claimed by SME. And this was a song called Calm Like a Bomb by copyright owner is SME. And so that's what they'll do. They don't shut down your channel for a copyright strike on music. So JJ's lying about that. And that's how he started out his day and why he's getting streamed to all these other channels. So my guess is that maybe he's just using this as an opportunity to have other live streamers share his live stream to their audience. So that way he gets more viewers on his new channel, perhaps, whatever that may be. I could care less. The simple fact is he lied about his channel getting a strike. And if it did get a strike, it wasn't for music. He may have gotten a strike for something else. But yet again, it's just another example of Jay being Jay. And those of you who are supporting Jersey Jay in his attempt to help people in Ohio is what I've been talking about today in chats. So that is the question. Back to you guys. Remember that the world is watching, Wizzy. How do you want to be remembered? I do me, Wanda Lisa. You, Wanda Lisa, are an anonymous chatter on YouTube. So, Mona, how dare you come in here and tell me to stop stirring things up? I have been the least stirful person in the chats that you spend time in. I'm really startled that you would even dare to do and say something like that to me. As you support Red and JJ and these other people that have done more stirring and attacking of people, you're going to come in here and lecture me? Go someplace else, Mona. I don't want to hear it. Mona, think about what it is you're commenting. KMC, again, I don't care what you have to say. You mean absolutely nothing. And the fact that, you come up here, you've done nothing but come in this chat and attack anytime I've talked about anything. Kerfuffle's gone. That's all there is. I was told the Kerfuffle account has been deleted. I'm pointing out just that. Like, if you want to give him your money, you do whatever you want to do. But what I'm going to do is when I'm over there with Jeff, hearing Jeff simping for JJ, I sit back and I go, wait a minute. This is the same guy who has been calling everybody a grifter and all the things that they've been, attacking the convoys over, JJ included. We've seen the videos that have been made, about what JJ does. And then they're doing the most hypocritical thing ever. And they go, oh, it's because of Ohio. It's because of... There are a shit ton of groups and companies that are supporting Ohio. Take 2 seconds and do a little bit of a search on Google. In fact, here, let me pull it up, what I was looking at. I did a search. Here's how you can help East Palestine, Ohio residents. Here, 4 days ago. These are local companies. You don't have to support Jersey J traveling across the United States. There's plenty of people and plenty of groups that are helping out. In fact, that's where I was before, is Jersey J doesn't know what they need, right? Here's a water drive that's happening tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 6 at Woodside Drive. This was 4 days ago, though, so it was the next day after that. So this was like 3 days ago, right? Now, they've had groups that have delivered water, all kinds of things, right? Obviously, the water is not going to go bad. Jersey J really wanted to help. Maybe he would have contacted the Hagerstown Speedway and said, hey, you guys have a shit ton of water left over from the TPC. Can I pick that up, what I can put in my trailer and my truck, and take that to Ohio? Well, one, that wouldn't be very smart, right? Because I'm pretty sure that he could get water closer. That wouldn't cost him nearly as much on gas and consumption and whatnot. And he could have gone right from New Jersey rather than coming down to Hagerstown or up. Well, it's down to Hagerstown in Maryland for him. Now he's going to go from Maryland in Hagerstown. He's going to go to Frederick next for tomorrow and do another thing there. He doesn't know how he's going to get this stuff to. He doesn't actually have that much space. How much water and supplies are you going to fit realistically in what he's got? He's begging for a truck. Well, do you know what it costs for a truck to drive to Ohio in fuel? It's like logistically, if you're a smart prepper, he hasn't done any of that, but yet wants you to support him. He doesn't truly know what they need. They've got a ton of water already shown up. We've seen the pallets and pallets of water. People will need water. But you've seen others say that's not what they need, right? So right? I understand people want to help. Utilizing somebody like Jersey J, who doesn't actually know how to help, when there's so many major companies and groups that are helping, like, what are you actually doing? But maybe getting in the way, using the suffering of others to profit and make money. Pace, I've actually been watching. I've been watching and seeing what's going on. I understand that, people's homes and all the anything that's porous is potentially going to need to get tossed, right? I don't know if you can clean that out. I'm aware he's not the only one doing this. Because it's about him, KMC. That's the point I've been making. Like, are you just now paying attention? How are you not getting it? Are you not listening? I know you're really. It's astronomical to me. So many of you make these judgment calls. I don't know where you get this shit from. And I don't know if it's like, Terry seems to think Jersey J does know what he's doing. I agree. Jersey J knows exactly what he's doing. He's found another opportunity to extract money out of people using the people of Palestine, Ohio, to do it. He's latched on to another convoy. He's latched on, to another event that he can do this. Watch his live stream for 5 minutes. It's funny, Kat. We had an event here last night. I went to bed kind of early. It was about 11 o'clock, apparently, last night. People on the Hagerstown Happenings group started reporting that there was a white substance that was not snow coming down all the way through West Virginia. And this morning, contacted a fireman friend from the area to see what was going on. Apparently, the West Virginia EPA did report that there was some sort of substance that was falling in the area, but I don't have the details on what it was yet. But there's videos of the dust. Somebody said they thought it was, I forget, with a sand blowing, like a sandstorm. To me, it didn't look like sand. It looked like flakes of something, but we don't know yet. But as far as our drinking water goes, I don't know. We filter it here at the house, but I wonder. We should all start testing our water, just as a precautionary thing on a regular basis. I do have water purification devices that I've used for camping and things in the past that, if there was a problem, but crazy. What is Chrissy going on about? What did I miss? I don't follow the Ottawa convoy, Chrissy. I understand. Trying to find that. Eric, I did not realize that was turned off. That's why. I had it off from something else I was doing. Here's Eric, the mechanic.
Hey, Wizzy.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, I'm listening to what you're saying, and some
Yep.
of the things you're a little bit off on.
What
So,
am I off on? Start there.
well, okay. Well, the streaming thing, I understand that the way you stream, you sit here and you may get a little bit of background noise. I know Jersey J was just bumping music all night long, and I have seen streamers get their channels taken down midstream for having way too much music content.
Well, that
Now, I
doesn't
can't
give
tell
you a
you if
strike,
that
though.
banned his
Yeah,
channel.
it doesn't give you a strike. And typically, it's Facebook that
Yeah.
takes down music on streams. Typically, YouTube wants to pay the royalties to the musicians. So,
I
what
get what
else?
you're saying, and I can't verify that, but I'm just saying I've seen it where streams have just shut off because they've been doing nothing but streaming music. So
I
that's
understand,
whatever it is.
but that's
But
that doesn't
but really,
shut down
Jersey,
the channel or give you a strike. So,
yeah. And then the other thing is weird thing doesn't go
people
in.
helping Ohio. I've been discussing and talking about what Jersey J is doing in these other streams in
Now,
chat,
do
and
you
people have clearly not understood what it was that I was saying. Help Ohio. Ohio
Okay.
needs help.
Now, do you understand most of the members of this group that you've been talking about are basically the Jersey version of AFC? So it's Vince, it's Soup Mama, it's Brian, it's all them.
I haven't
They're the ones that are
mentioned
running
a single
this.
one of those people.
No, I understand that, but Jersey J's the streamer. He's not running the show here. Anything that gets
from
donated
his
to
stream,
that.
it's hard to tell that, because it wasn't until I did my own research that I realized that Jersey J had nothing to do with Americans for Freedom or Americans for
Yeah,
America
so you've already
Foundation.
you've already verified that he isn't.
Correct.
You right there
That
verified
he joined the
that
group
he's-
on the
yeah, so-
on the 15th of February. But when you listen to Jersey J
and that's
on
the
his
original
stream,
group.
you wouldn't know that. He does not he talks as though he is Americans for America.
Well,
So
he
you got
originally came
feedback
down
coming
with
through for some
with
reason,
that
Eric.
convoy. I said he originally came down with that part of that convoy of the AFC that came from New Jersey.
I know, I understand that. I know he's part of AFC. I know where he comes from. I know
Okay.
how he got to TPC.
Yeah. So when he says he's a member, he was asked to join, so that makes him a member of that group.
Yes, I understand that.
But I mean, Jersey J is not the
Well,
one in
actually,
charge
you
of all
don't
the
have
money.
to even be invited.
know?
You can just join the group. It's an open public group on Facebook. 329 members as of right now.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and I understand. There was that thing where he was going to go to California. I've heard it. I know what you're getting at, but really, there's a lot of eyes on him right now, and
Sure.
everybody's all worried about the whole grifting thing. So I guarantee there's going to be receipts for things that were bought. I just feel like
Okay.
you're taking this a little out there.
How am I
Because there's a
taking
lot
it-
of eyes on him, and there's a lot of other leadership.
right, and how
Well,
do
you're
they
making
know?
it sound like it's
Right.
just Jersey
And-
J.
And okay, cool. So who cares who's donating to Jersey J? Right? Freedom. So you have audio playing
Yeah, but
in your
most of it
background.
has
You gotta
been
turn it
people
down,
turning
Eric.
up with.
Eric, you got to turn down the audio in your background.
I
We're
don't
getting
have
feedback.
any.
Well, there's something kicking back.
I'll turn down my head. I'll turn down my headset. Maybe it's too loud, but yeah, I don't have any other audio
Oh,
going.
maybe. Okay, it's just let's see if that might be better. So, like I
Okay.
said, who cares, right? What I pointed out, Eric, so that you clearly understand, along with everyone else, I pointed out on Jeff's channel that Jeff and the others had been attacking Jersey J over the grifting.
And I'm not going to argue with you.
along with
I don't
many
want to even
other
talk
people
about Jeff.
They were attacking. And now, all of a sudden, they're his biggest simps. restreaming him, promoting, you know, what he's doing. That's what I pointed out, was the hypocrisy of a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm not.
They hated the guy. They trying to shut him down. Now all of a sudden, hooray for Jay.
Yeah, I'm not here to talk about Jeff.
That's what I'm making a point of.
Yep.
These absolute fucking lunatics,
And I'm not even
Eric.
here to defend or talk about Jeff.
No.
Yeah, I hear you.
And so when I point that out in the chats, they go, "Oh, but Ohio. Oh, but Ohio." No, I'm not even talking about Ohio. Let Americans for America do their thing. The fact that Jersey J has attached himself to that group and is profiting off of Ohio and what this group is doing, that's what I'm calling out.
Okay,
and hopefully everybody understands and sees what I'm talking about, Eric.
I hear what you're saying, you know, and like I said, I'm not here to defend Jeff.
No,
you know,
and
I'm just sitting here saying, you know,
thinks I'm right. I don't want to be right. I'm absolutely sick of this bullshit from people, and it's amazing to watch the chats and what they pick up on, and they all came over here, and you can see them all clearly. But even Mags, like, Mags isn't paying attention and listening. He's just as bad as everybody else. Just understand. That's all you have to do.
I understand what your point is, and I get what you're saying. I fully understand what you're saying, but I'm also saying there's a lot of eyes on him, and he's going to have to do a lot of transparency showing his receipts. I don't care how many eyes there are on him, because people can donate to whoever they want. Again, well, none of that matters to me. I've never cared who donates to who or who gives money to who. If you want to give money to somebody, you support whoever the fuck you want, Eric. None of that matters to me. You know, I said my piece. You know, I'm going to let you do your stream. You know, I just wanted to straighten you out on just a couple of things that I thought maybe you didn't fully understand. But, you know, okay. Enjoy your stream. I'm going to bounce out of here.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Wizzy.
Bye. Eric the mechanic joining us. You're more than welcome. I didn't realize earlier when I put the "come join me," which is this one here from the. Did it push? No, this one here. Is it not working? My button may not be working. When I put up the join link, I did not have the interview mode in my software turned on. So it should be. It's just this here. For anybody who has... it's funny, now I don't even seem to be posting on my own stuff. Oh, it went there. It's just not showing up on my screen here for some reason. KMC, let's see what she says. Says, the things WYSIWYG, they are supporting for what is being done, putting differences of opinions aside to actually help Americans. We need more of this. That's where you're wrong, KMC. You can choose to give money to people who are more reliable, who aren't shysters, and there's plenty of other places. Hell, Polish Agnes. Support Polish Agnes. Don't give your money to Jersey J. If you want to, you do you. But you have options, is my point, KMS. That's what you're not understanding. So when you went from not liking Jersey J to all of a sudden, you know, oh, roo, Jersey J's our guy because he's going to Ohio. Well, guess what? There's a whole lot of other people who do an Ohio support that I trust a whole fuckload more than Jersey J. And, you know, again, it comes down to y'all have had the same concerns about Jersey J, but now all of a sudden those concerns are out the window. So I hope you understand now. Can't we give thanks and appreciation to people that are donating and give their time to get stuff to the area of East Palestine? This is what Americans do. Yes. Forgo Jersey J. Jersey J is taking advantage of people. Understood? That's the point. Right? Learn your lessons. Know who you're dealing with. You know. Mo, it's... Oh, look who's joined us here. That's I gotta say, that's probably one of the best. Oh shit, we got an echo. You got something too loud there.
Let's see. It's not echoing now. It wasn't a second ago.
Yeah. I still hear myself coming through, and that
okay, hold
that may be on my end. But
is it better now?
Yeah, that I think that did it. Yeah, it's still there a little bit. I'll turn you down just a skosh, but
okay.
Assign you here to guest one. Oh, hang on, please hold. Let me give you a little fix here, telescope.
Let's see. There's a little lag.
A little bit of a lag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make you look a little better.
Okay.
There you go. So for those who don't know, this is the infamous telescope. And correct me if I'm wrong. You have been an opponent, opposition to freedom movements, patriot movements, whatever you want to call them, for a while. You've actively worked to shut them down. And I would say you've at some point tried to shut me down as well.
Not particularly you. I think we have difference. I think we have difference of philosophy.
Yeah.
I think that you and I play by the same rules, and I've always said that, and you do. So.
Right. I gotta ask though, in the back of the back wall, is that a painting that your fiance might have done of you?
Yeah.
With the skull upside, it almost looks like you're wearing the same exact outfit.
No, I have no. I just
it's
have
slightly different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Different collar. You don't have a collared shirt on, but I was gonna say, like, can you take your glasses off, look up to your left a little bit, and kind of gaze the other left? That's your left? Okay, so it's flipping the camera. So to your right.
Oh, sorry. So
there you go. Yeah, a little more towards the camera and a little chin up more. And now look to your right a little bit, and tilt your head down just a skosh. There. Look at how we did that. That's pretty amazing. You'll have to go back and watch the stream and see how I set that up. But we recreated in live stream the portrait on the back wall. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Just trying to lighten things up because it's really gotten to be one of these things. I think you understood what I was pointing out, and I don't know if you were paying attention in the chats. I wasn't. Like, it's funny for me when I am in a chat, I don't pay attention to the entire chat. It seems like I tend to focus on whoever I'm having a conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
But it was Jeff, it was a couple other people that I was really just pointing out this crazy hypocrisy of the support for JJ, and how quickly they were like, our hero JJ, the savior of Ohio.
I think that's the whole thing. I mean, that's you're like, I think what the title is, like, what upside down universe do we live in? I completely agree with you 100% today on this. They're being opportunistic. The last thing that Ohio needs is a bunch of grifting live streamers. If they want to provide money or resources, there's lots of reputable charities. You know, we have things like FEMA, things like the American Red Cross that are handling these, and they can easily donate money to them to help that. They don't need them there. I technically live probably the closest besides Mags to Palestine, Ohio. They all live hours and states away. Now, bear in mind, like, what they're going to, was it? There's no reason for them to go to Hagerstown. Like, it's completely out of their way. Even if you're going to drive from Jersey to Ohio, you're not going to, why would you stop in Hagerstown?
But then, well, and now that I realize maybe it's because that's what Americans for America is doing. They may have come from somewhere else, and Jay is meeting up with them. But that's why, for me, it didn't make any sense what they were doing. And then going, like, they literally don't have a way to get the stuff on their own. So obviously now that they're there and it's Americans for America, okay. But if you get the turnout you think you're going to get, which, again, it's not that. It's the Jersey J portion of this that I questioned. So
I mean, that was his whole thing. I mean, he went to cover the protest in New York and missed the entire protest. Spent the most time live streaming, grifted for money, went to the protest, and the protest was over. I mean, that's really what it all is. It's just, it's an entire grift, and it's disgusting. Like, yeah, people in Ohio need help.
Right.
It's not help that they can provide.
Right. You know, it's I don't see where, based on Jersey Jay's past and what he's done and his claims, you know, the most infamous claim is that they raised the money to go to California, then didn't go to California, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was like $1,600.
Whatever. Not necessarily a ton of money, but, you know, whatever. You know, and I don't know. For me, I don't need to be convinced. And I'm not necessarily trying to convince anybody not to give to Jay. I could care less if they give to Jay. Again, it for me was that Jeff has had a lot to say that is incorrect, and more so than you came and visited the TPC, or you said the TPC once, and then you visited 1776 movement twice.
3 times.
3 times.
Two rallies, and then
Yeah,
Brooklyn Springs.
but even then, Jeff was more there because he was through Discord and he was, you know, in and around and watching my stream and whatnot, like, had seen more for himself, and still even managed to pick up just only after he left my Discord, was, I believe, actually removed from my Discord, that he then went to BTM and completely changed his view of the convoy.
I mean, that game dev's the same way, too. It's just two members giving him the attention.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen to him.
Right. You know, game dev not that long ago was one of the biggest Jersey J haters. And now he's in there simping away harder than anybody for Jersey J. Like,
he started off in BTM.
Right. Where do you think that people, you understand people and their thinking better than anyone? Where do you think this comes from? Is it just the need to be a part of something, feel like they belong? Because you and Jeff recently had a breakup, and are not streaming together and doing your thing. And frankly, I think that there was a yin and yang there. Whatever your intention was, whatever his intention was, I don't really care. But I do recognize that there was a yin and yang there that seemed to work.
It was a dynamic, and it was entertaining. I mean, you get to feed off one another. I think it was enjoyable. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
My chat one, half my chat one, I'm gone for a while.
Sure.
But I'm a man of principle too, which is kind of funny. But I'm just not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with platforming people. I mean, if you want to have an interview with someone, fine, but push the fuck back. Don't act like you're a tractor pull and tee-hee-hee with one another when they make active threats against obviously a
Right.
person trying, like I would say, I try to be his friend. He doxed me and makes active violent threats against me daily, and has said horrible and vile things about people in the chat. Like
Yeah.
it's just the optics matter. I mean, we always kind of, and Reacher and I say it all the time, but it does.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Um,
But where it comes from is that, yeah. But to get back to what you're saying,
yeah.
it's definitely a need of validation, a sense of belonging, because we're talking about people who probably don't really particularly have friends. They don't particularly know where they belong. They don't particularly have values and principles, so they have nothing to stand on. They have no
Yeah.
foundation, and it's whomever is giving them that attention that they want and crave. They're just going to be drawn to it. That's what I see.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think that when it comes to I think you enjoyed having Jeff around for different reasons, and I that's only my opinion of what I saw, because you were very easy to allow Jeff to sort of carry on, knowing that he's been proven to be an exaggerator at the very least of
Yeah.
many things. And for you to say, okay, he didn't push back hard enough on platforming whoever, again, I think that is also subjective, right?
But he wasn't.
Well, that's
I mean,
your subjective observation of what he was doing.
No.
And
No, I made
for
phone calls
him,
that
that
night
may be
about
his
people who
level
was
of
watching it.
pushback, just like I have my level of pushback on things, right? So to
No.
me, that
Well, no,
becomes a subjective
I even
point.
made phone calls. I even made phone calls at night about people who are watching, to people who are watching, and I'm like, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing?" So yeah, there was definitely me questioning that, and me going, "I can't have him back on. I just can't."
Yeah.
Halfway through that conversation with Red, before I said, "Fuck you, Jeff, I'm done," I already made up my mind that he wasn't coming back.
I see. Hang on one second here. I'm just trying to make a little shift here. See if I can fix.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't like this software. It sucks.
Well,
It's such a lag. Stream Manager's a little better.
And that's one of the things, like, I'm trying to understand with them, because I don't know if that lag comes from my end or their end. This software is supposed to be able to handle 10 people, and I don't see how it possibly could. And I don't have a bad internet connection here, but I have had problems with the lag, and I'm trying to fix, hoping that maybe this is the problem here.
1 second, I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. So that change that I just initiated won't take place unless he leaves and comes back. But just checking your. It is JG, but the funny thing is it was the same thing that was happening with Eric. So that's why I was starting to wonder if it was something possibly on my end. But check 1 2. I thought maybe my speaker here next to me was bleeding a little bit, but it just seems to be something on the back end. Unfortunately, Telescope, can you bounce back out and back in again? Because I made a change that won't take effect until you leave and come back. But that'll also
awesome.
fix the delay for a minute. Okay. So we'll do this. But we'll see if we can fix that. Because yeah, it definitely goes away once he's gone. But I know there's a lot of you who have been with me for a while and are not a fan of telescope here. Let's try that. How's that? It's better.
I think it's okay.
Yeah,
You sound muffled now, though.
Now I sound muffled. Well, yeah, I've whatever the setting's called, I changed that, and it does seem to change the sound quality. I think maybe, but I think
Yeah,
before it was in something called musician mode,
okay.
and I thought it was actually better for bitrate. But maybe this is just better all in all. But yeah, that echo does seem to be gone now. So.
Yeah, but yes, no. I mean,
Rack,
I'm
not
happy
sure
it's
who
gone.
that Jeff is that you're talking about, but
No, no, that's Fluffy. That's
I
Polish's ex-boyfriend.
okay. I've never heard of him referred to that way.
Yeah, she would call him Fluffy.
I don't pay attention to the Polish Agnes drama either. So,
It's definitely it's lagging more now.
really, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I'm watching on the video, and it's
Right.
so different than what I'm doing here.
But I wonder. Oh,
It's about 5 seconds.
that's why you're watching the live stream while simultaneously
No, I'm on the Ecamm.
you're on the eCam and you're delayed that long, huh? So
Yeah,
if I give you
yeah. I
this camera,
I have your stream turned down.
if I give you this camera, does it change
That's better.
anything? That's better. That's more live. Okay.
I'm not
Because
watching myself in like
Right.
seconds of reverse.
the difference between this software and what you're using as far as StreamYards go, StreamYard is a very simplified version of a live streaming software. It doesn't give you a lot of customization options, but it is very good at the panel setup, right? But overlays and things that I use, this gives me a lot more control over the live stream, but not as good when it comes to bringing in people. But that could be for a few different reasons.
Yeah.
That's why I use this. I played with the other, but Frosty Broccoli. It's funny that a Canadian
What does Brett want?
is judging patriotism, but you do you, Frosty Broccoli. I know you're all upset that you get timed out over here, but it is what it is.
I practically de-risked my chat. So
Yeah.
Max has one, but it's for her because other people have her blocked, so she can see the people she has blocked, but she doesn't do anything with it. So
Who's
Drops
the
a link
Lying
here and
Cowboy? Is that who's the Lying Cowboy?
Jeff,
I don't know, but I see Al Munson.
is he going to show up
joined
with
us. Al Munson hates me, but shows up every live stream. What S/W WYSIWYG? I don't know what that means. Should I know what that means?
I mean, is Jeff going to show up with 900 pounds of meat? I think.
I don't
It's
know.
going to be
Is
lamb
that-
or beef.
Right. Is it another troll that's happening? Is that what's going on? Is that the play? Like, I'm fascinated. What since you're here and all these questions keep coming up. How do you feel about the idea of stolen valor when you see somebody like Scamuel trying to take responsibility for the sandwich incident?
Which sandwich incident? Are you talking about? I mean,
The Subway
Santa
sandwich
gave
thing
money.
with 76. And
That wasn't
Scamuel
Samuel.
always trying to take credit for that in the chats.
I've never seen Samuel do that because that wasn't Samuel. That was
Correct.
the hayseeds.
We know it wasn't Samuel, but for some reason Samuel likes to go in the chats and make that claim, about the sandwich and that it was him.
I never seen him make that claim. I never seen him make up that claim.
Yeah, he's been doing that more than once. In fact, it's one of his favorite things to do. It's stolen troll valor. I don't know how else to describe it. Right.
That's
You know,
funny. I mean,
he's
I don't think
taking,
the federal crime with that one.
right. He's taking responsibility for other people's trolls.
I mean,
So,
he did that troll himself with Santa without our help. I'll tell you, I didn't know who the fuck he was. And then
right.
he started name dropping
How much
BTM, and I
money
was
do you
like,
think
what?
he got? Yeah. How much money do you think he got from Santa?
4,500.
He did not. He
That's what
got
he told me.
$100 Santa sent him.
Can that be confirmed?
It can be actually.
I mean, we can ask him.
I was going to pull it up for you, because it's
because he can send that to me too. Because he said it was multiple different deposits.
no, it was one, and I have the conversation between him and Santa, that was sent to me from Santa,
Okay.
showing where, actually Samuel offered to send the $100 back to him, and Santa said, "No, it's okay. You keep it."
Okay.
And then
I don't think it really matters.
Santa also sent me the threats that Samuel sent him about Rose. That was another one that was pretty remarkable. And the reason, I ask you that because I know that you're a fan of Samuel, and I've always contested
Yeah.
that Samuel is a person who acts in a way that when you talk about doxing and all the other things that you're concerned about, Samuel is an extension of that in the worst way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're aware. He would come into chats and he would make comments about my ex-wife and my child, and their location, to threaten me.
The only thing I've ever seen, not from him, was being like, "Hey, why aren't you around your kid?" Now people make offhanded comments about those kind of things. They make those comments about me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've never seen that in those chats. So bear in mind, like, especially when I've been live streaming, I haven't really,
Right.
unless I have my phone here, and I don't have my phone, it's in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually not on other chats. I know.
Right.
My operating system can't handle it, sadly enough.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because I probably would be on.
Yeah.
I can kind of can't chew gum and walk at the same time. But I don't agree with that. No,
Yeah.
I don't. No, I don't bring people's families into it. I'm very against that kind of stuff. Now, if we make ourselves like out in the forefront, sure. We're all here to make fun of, right? Call me teledrunk, Teletubby, whatever. But no, I don't believe in the doxing and threatening people's families. I mean, that's why I got into it with Eric. I think it's very public over that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to send that to me, it's fine. And Mall
No, I
Telescope
won't send
at
it.
Gmail.
I'll show it.
Mm-mm. But with Jeff, he's definitely stolen valor. He was claiming he's been continually arguing that he's an E10 in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
I had to Google what that was. There's one advisor for each branch of the military. He's not an E10. I can't perpetuate. Okay.
So this is the screenshot from
email that to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to send
email
it
that to me.
But I will. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen here. It says,
I don't have to read it. It's like,
it says, when I get home tonight, I'm going to send your UR 100 back. Santa says, why bother? Use that to help someone get here, man. And then Samuel says, I'm fixing to send you a photo of some. And then Santa says, okay. And then he says, wife deleted it. Geez. Santa says, are you still coming? Give me a second here. Let me see if I can add this camera in here.
Okay.
Placeholder. WYSIWYG TV. Click to start. Okay. Let me see here. To the left. So you can see this. Let's see here. So it says Samuel, Texas, convoy. That's the way Santa must have had him in his phone. When I get home tonight, I'm going to send your $100 back. He says, why bother? Use that to help someone get here, man. Talking to Samuel. And then he says, I'm finishing sending you a photo of something. And then okay, geez, whatever. Nothing against you at all. Me and the guys know that it's going to take time to raise the funds because all of the trolling that's going on. This is Samuel. This is his. Okay. You can see down at the bottom there.
I'm not seeing anything. I just see you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, you're not seeing it because I switched your camera. You're only seeing my camera. Let me switch it back. Everybody else is seeing it right now. Let me change it for you. Get a little bit of a delay back, but kind of wish they made it easier to.
There's like a multicam master on you. Okay, yeah, it's much better.
Yeah. So this is everybody's been seeing it this way so far, but.
Okay, yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah, so. But it's from him, and he talks about the $100. And I asked Santa. I said, "How much did you send?" And he goes, "Here, I'll show you what I sent to him." So this is that conversation. He talks about we're coming. Some of the ladies are going out. You know, like Samuel uses zero punctuation. He's very Samuel. And then he says, Oreo is the main person telling his people not to trust me in his stream. And I can guarantee you that he would not say that in my face, but I'll keep you posted. I'll give you a ring later. I'm going to check on some t-shirts, some shirts made. You know, Samuel back then, was doing everything he could to create an air of suspicion or to counter the suspicion of what he was up to with this fake convoy, right? And I don't want to hash up and bring up the past, but you know, this is one of the things that we're talking about when, you know, people's integrity, right? And whose lies are believable and who gets backed. And you and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but we also haven't really talked about like true issues that we would, you know, have discussions about. But when it comes to the convoy and whatnot, we've always seen things very different. And, you know, I've been there, I've been around it. I was aware of most things. Certain things I'll admit when I didn't know it was, but I also won't talk about those things to the same extent. But when it comes to Samuel and how, you know, I was able to sort of expose what he was doing to scam the convoy and troll them.
Well, we were the first. No, BTM was the first people to say he was a scammer, and we didn't even know who he was. And then you hooked onto it a few days afterwards.
I don't know that I would argue that with. Well, I might argue that with you, but okay. But it's funny because
I didn't know he was
right
because he name dropped BTM and said that he was on the BTM chats during I think it was the first interview with Wyckoff. That was when he first came out. And then he started naming dropping us, and we were like, what the hell are you talking about? We've been talking about how this has been a scam for a long time. But we didn't know who this person was, and he was saying, hey, he was on our chats. And then he later, you know, came out and revealed who it was.
But Troll Central, you know, that's what good people do is good people think of people as good until they show themselves to be, you know, anything but. You know, good people.
I never
are
felt
willing,
that way.
You never felt that way?
Especially about Santa. Santa, I thought that trying to project himself being good, to give himself a pat in the back, but I've always felt there was a mean streak in him, and I would always see it. And then later with my my interactions with him,
Right.
he kind of just demonstrated that's who he was. I mean, he did defend the doxing in DC.
And
I called him up directly.
I understand that you hold that to mean a lot, which I understand because I've been in that position as well, and I wasn't there for that conversation with you and him, and I'm not defending that, but like to me, I also can understand where I think Santa would consider you worse character for the things that you had done being a part of BTM to shut down the movement in his mind than any doxing of you could ever do.
I mean, but why was I doxed?
Well, that was Oreo. That was Oreo doxing you
Yeah,
in his mods,
it was.
right?
Oh,
Sure, and I don't know
sure.
that Santa defended it. I just think that Santa blew off, caring about you because, of the attack that you had carried out and been a part of, on that movement, right?
No, so this I brought this up before I went to DC to him. It was right after he got out of jail. He was out to dinner with Taco Joe, Oreo, and Sparrow. He walked away from the table.
Okay.
And then had a conversation with my fiance because she wouldn't let me on the phone because I was about ready to fucking rip his throat out.
Yeah.
So she handled it with him. He's like, well, I'll talk to him. And the next day he's like, well, I don't control my live streamers. They do what they want to do. Well,
right. But
the
that
live
doesn't mean he
streamers
condoned
are very
it, right?
much
Like,
onset,
okay.
and they're very extension of your movement.
Right. So you just said it's not that he condoned it. He told you honestly, I don't have control over people. They do what they do. Is that him condoning it? No, that's not him condoning it.
No way. No, when I went to DC and I brought it up to him, so my phone overheated for this conversation with him because I'm fucking screaming at him. You can hear it on Buffalo Man's live streaming that day.
Okay.
It's like right when I first get there. And I'm talking to him about this. I'm actually yelling at him about it. And then he goes, well, it was done on your side, so we just play by the same rules.
Right.
But I didn't dox anyone. As far as I know, there was no doxing happening on BTM. That was
did you ever hear Santa dox anyone?
He's the leader of the movement.
Yeah, but did he dox anyone?
Well, when it's obviously going, hey, we're allowing this to happen, they're not, and they're not. People are not being held accountable.
No. That's what you said, Telescope.
They're not being held accountable.
You said in your own words was that he said, I don't have control over what Oreo does. Right, and so
he does.
That's not him going. I'm okay with that. Because I even I talked to him. I go, hey man, look, here's one of the things that's going on. What are your thoughts? He goes, same thing to me. I can't control what Oreo does. I said, well, Oreo is potentially, doing things to make your movement look bad, right? And he goes, well, again, I can't control what Oreo does, nor could he control what I did either. In the same way, it was. But it was a question.
You remember
it was
the
a conversation that was had.
The buck stops. The buck stops here when you're the leader of the movement.
Not when you're talking about press,
because you are held accountable.
And again, we'll
want to talk about
argue that
Charles Manson?
we'll
You want to
argue
talk about
that all
Charles
day
Manson?
long, but you know.
You want to talk about Charles Manson? Because Charles Manson didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, but
It was his followers.
You're trying to make a comparison of Charlie Manson, which, by the way, you look more like Charles Manson than Santa does. But
I try to look more like Rasputin. I'm more of a Rasputin fan.
Yeah, okay.
On books.
I think there's some Charlie Manson in there too, but it really is. We could get into this conversation of cults and whatnot, but it wasn't really the conversation that we're having. But I understand the doxing. I don't like the doxing either.
No, and I've always given respect because you and I play by those rules.
Right.
It's much cooler just to argue about other things.
Right. And if you watched anything that I did with Samuel and exposing his nonsense, the last thing I did, I didn't even dox him. Right? Like I certainly could have doxed Samuel.
It's lagging real bad.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've been having my screens are a little slow up here and some other stuff going on. I don't know. I probably should have. Trench, this is Telescope. But, I don't believe in doxing either. I also try not to be, a hypocrite, certainly, because I don't condone the doxing and I wouldn't want anybody doxing me or anyone else. That's why I don't do it. I try to lead by example in the very best way I can. And so the whole thing with Star Fox, ultimately, I couldn't talk about it because I didn't want to dox the man. And sure. People won't understand that. But I still have my morals, and I'm going to do the right thing by me. And that's, for me, what it comes down to. And so, how we got here today
that's the whole thing I deal with the squirrels.
Sure, I know. And then you see Mona come in here and
all the time, and
I don't care who Mona hangs out with, but you know what? If you want to go be a part of the squirrel team and do that, and she says she calls Red out on his, like, it's nonsense. It's nasty, So, but
I've never seen them call Red out. I've seen them. They go, "Oh, that's bad," and then they fucking laugh about it, and then it happens again, and they don't do anything about it. They don't go, "Hey, man, this is like disgusting, vile fucking behavior, and you shouldn't do this," and stand on an old principle. But they don't have that, so
right.
Let
Al
them
Munson
have
says
like,
the
that's what
ambulance
their freedom
chasers in Hagerstown. Al, I've seen you make this comment before, and I'm curious. Like when you talk about the ambulance chasers, is that the scanner streamers that follow the scanners and like first responder Joe? Is that who you're like referring to as the ambulance chasers, or are you sort of being comical in how you describe? We got a new guest joining us. Let's try this. We got Troy in the black box here.
What's up, Troy?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was actually curious if it was actually going to be Troy, but I recognized the voice.
You know, that's me.
He was on my stream last night.
Yeah.
A little bit of discussion about some plastic stuff. I ain't up here to talk about, all the JJ, the people part. More or less the product part, and then, methods and information to make people aware of, at least.
Yeah.
Of stuff they could be requesting by their local people, the politicians or what have you.
As far as Ohio,
these people gonna have so much water. Yeah, Ohio.
I'm gonna hop off here.
Shit, now you got.
All right.
You got white powder.
No worries.
And shit dropping down like.
Yeah.
Dropping down like snow. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I've been saying it a bunch in the chats and all, but I mean, I got a wild hair. I felt froggy jumped up on the platform last night. We was talking about people was mentioning how long water and whatnot, how long it'll last.
Mm-hmm.
So we covered that a little bit. But moving forward, though, to me, a little background. You had the military, of course, with National Biological Chemical Training, right? Decontamination, advanced training in it too, where you go into a little further details. But since then, a chemical plant. I worked there for years, and become a training instructor. Traveled several, around the country, different bottling companies, chemical companies, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and part of it, with the becoming a training instructor with them, to give a lot of class, a lot of research on different stuff. Not necessarily pertaining to some of the products that they have there, but part of that, you know, uh, duty assignment, if you will,
Yeah.
was the plant assistant chief for, emergency response team, high angle rescues, confined space. I mean, the whole 9 yards. But also with Hazmat, uh, not just with the facility, which is a huge facility, but also with the entire port on the board with the, as a representative of the company. So that involves a lot in incident command as well. So, anyways, just so getting back to what I've been putting in check, it blows my mind because I know it's out there. I ain't never Googled it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But because I've seen it, I've been around them. The people can start Googling it or whatever. They're concerned, which is legit. These people, they up in Ohio, it's crazy. And then, like I said, the other shit, and then you got balloons and all that stuff. But if it were me, and there's ways that you could do it on your own, but I think people need to start pushing, not just for, water. To me, I sit back and shake my head. There's so much water going there now, which is, legit, no
Right.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
But it's almost getting to the toilet paper doing the, the shutdown shit, whatever.
Yeah. But I would argue
Because
too,
they're gonna
Troy,
have
is
so
like
much
you
water.
can never have too much. It's the bazooka theory.
Oh no.
What you don't
Right.
want is those
Yeah, well,
perishable things and them not to have a way to deal with that, and then things get wasted. It's like you can actually
Yeah.
overwhelm a community with donations,
Oh, no doubt about it. Look,
right?
I've been,
And we don't know that that's
several
the state
hurricanes.
they're in,
Right.
right?
But let me finish. So, see,
Yeah.
now having said that, they're going to have buku water, right? We know that. They got
Right.
more water coming from all over the place. They need
And
to take, if I
McDonald's.
was in that situation, and a hat, if you love
Yeah.
it, I guess. But they're going to have so much water around there, and it's just the knowledge to put out there. They got systems that set up, to me anyways, to respond
Right.
to a hazmat incident.
Yeah.
Which there's an incident command set up somewhere that, at different levels. But to help with the water, it's backup. Now, people can use the additional water for what I'm about to say as a DIY kind of thing, just to cover their own ass and keep records
Sure.
of what's going on.
Yeah.
But the main thing, the first part is, there's self-contained trailers, right? They have their own supply water.
Yes.
They use them in cities and shit. I mean, you've probably seen them in California.
Yeah.
For some of the homeless, they go around and give them.
Yes.
They got
Right.
the military has them, right? And
Yeah.
and washaterias the same way. Toilets,
Yep.
latrines and whatnot.
They have entire kitchens to serve
that shit-
thousands of people that
Absolutely.
you can rent. It comes at a cost,
You
obviously.
set them some bitches. Yeah, you can set
Yeah.
them some bitches out in the middle of nowhere and have a functioning, a system, if you will, infrastructure, right? So people need, to me anyways, I would be if I lived in that area, especially if the shit happens around my area, right? Nowadays, who knows,
Right.
So, but the kicker is not just for the sake, to conserve water, or don't worry about washing their clothes. You look, that's that's macro looking at it. Let's look at it micro, right?
Right.
So
Sure.
you break them things down, and what takes place is just the wastewater from the washaterias and the showers and whatnot, is self-contained, right? That self-contained wastewater, which is gray water, right, can be tested for any type of impurities, any type of contamination, whatever it may be.
Right.
And they would be able to monitor how much the people are intaking. If they're intaking, they're sweating it out normally, usually. But they're closed just from everyday wear, whatnot. And to me, that would be looking out for the citizens, Now, having realized those people ought to be demanding, simply for that process, not because I want clean water to bathe my ass with, right? No, it's because we need to know if we okay. And there's systems in place that if the average person don't know what to look for, ask for, whatnot, they just don't know, right?
Yeah.
Now, so whether or not that could take place or not, I mean, people that's involved, you know, you could see all the drama kind of jumped in and out the chats. I mean, it's legitimate, whatnot.
Yeah.
Some of it's personal, but and some of it's not, whatever. But the ultimate goal is whether or not what quote side you're on. People's concerned about these folks, you know. I mean, they people, you know. I mean, they fellow humans, you know. It's only natural to be concerned. The government at hand, who knows? But you know, you got to worry about that second nature. So, getting back to all the water, if that's one aspect, they need to be pushing for that shit to me,
Right.
because it would ensure it's a fail-safe, a redundant system for other tests that they could do in the soils and all of it, at the houses, off the shingles, or what have you. You know, but that's another way because it's actually be able to monitor the health of the actual person walking around. Now, if that don't take place or can't, or you know, it's a lengthy process, bullshit, whatever. All this extra water these people get. If it was me, you know, I would get a purified bottle, a piss cup, whatever you want to have, a water bottle. Hell, they're gonna have plenty of them. Bukus of them all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the next thing to be floating about the pollution they got. Anyways, and take a bath, take a shower, collect your what. Dunk that some bitch in there, take a Sharpie on that bastard, put some tape on it, whatever you have it, and write that down, put it on a shelf. Would it make a difference? Don't know. But if the right people are getting involved, it's a testing system for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's bizarre what we see.
Yeah. Do you know what the location is? Do you remember what the street is that it's off of? I was trying to find a.
Oh, where the Ohio City?
Yeah. Let me see here.
No.
This might show us what we're looking for here. This will do it. So this is toxins. So.
Yeah, that shit they talking about up this morning up in you know, West Virginia and whatnot. You know, I've read some piece on it. You know, I mean, I'm sure that more information will come out. But you know, they're talking about from a dust cloud. Some people talking about from it, but they can't explain why it smells like chlorine.
Right.
You know, and that it was actually some weather people was even questioning. I mean, locally, it's you know, it's bizarre. But that's, you know, a personal decontamination to be able to check, because, you know, if you got a bad spill, even if it's in the dirt or whatever, it's all analyzed, right? But that's a method where the person's day-to-day activity can be analyzed.
Right.
Depending on, you know, what the activity. Not just that, but shit in the grass, you know, like I said, anywhere in the yard, you know, people could do their due diligence to try to collect as much data as they can. Will it help them? We hope so, you know. But if it don't, there's no harm. But they ought to be demanding for them trailers and all that kind of shit, because they're concerned with the water. And those things are self-contained. You know, they pull up in there, swap them out. You know, pump them out, what have you. It's a different setup.
So I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see the live stream, Troy, but it was Trench that asked the question, what are the home values? What are the property values in East Palestine, Ohio, or Palestine, Ohio? And so I was kind of curious, and I pulled up Zillow. I was trying to find the area where the train wreck is, and it looks like it's right here on this Pennsylvania-Ohio border. At this curve here is, if I remember correctly, this might be the factory that I was seeing in America 2.0's video. But based on this map here, this appears to match what I'm looking at here. Let me back out a little bit. Yeah, because see, this is this plot of land, whatever this is, which matches this. So yeah, we're in the right spot. And I just wanted to see like what the homes in the neighborhood sort of values at, because, you know, I don't think it's the most insane thought is based on the value of the homes, you move people, right? Now, people don't want to obviously give up their homes, but I think they'd also rather not be, inundated with chemicals and, sort of wish that none of this happened in the first place. But in the end, if it just were to be cheaper to uproot the entire town and move them, their choice, do you want to go to a close city? Like, you decide where you want to go. Here's the property value of your home. Here's the cost of moving. Here's an opportunity for you to go and maybe get a better life in another area or somewhere close to this that is, safer where your home isn't. And then just,
there's all kind of
there's
all kind of relocation programs out there. I mean, after
Sure.
Katrina, it was a buku stuff like that
Right.
took place, but and that's the thing. After they do that, they'll come through there. The government will help subsidize whoever. A builder will buy it, freshen everything up, whatever, and turn around and resell the shit. And,
Right. But this person that, let's say, lives over here, right, on the east side of town, the west side of town, over here on Clark Street. This home says it's valued at $40,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot home, and let's say they give you 10% over market value on your home. Let's say 20% over market value. And you go, well, I don't feel like I'm in any danger. I feel like the threat's over at this point. Well, great. You get the value of your house in cash. And that's the end of the story then. But you make that choice, right? How about that as an answer? And I think the railroads, with the billions and billions of dollars that they make in revenue, should just pay that.
Yeah,
that be it. And let people,
relocation.
have that freedom to decide what's best for them.
Right.
Keep their house or move.
The home relocation stuff that I'm aware of, what they do is it's 10 to 20, depending on how much you bitching for us, businesses or whatnot, to try to get the 20% side, and over fair market value, which that's a gray area for government to play with. But anyways, a numbers game. And then if you accept it, you can keep anything in the resident, even the residents. If you want to move it, get a house move or tear it down, take all the wiring, the light fixture, the toilet, or whatever you want to take it. That's part of your agreement, and then you're on your own to find another spot.
Right. It shouldn't even, like, the
stay,
victims shouldn't feel victimized again by the railroad after the incident. You give them whatever they need. And if that's $1 million a piece, you give them $1 million a piece at this point. It's just out of control.
I don't think it'll be that. Well, it won't be that high, but it wouldn't be over the price of the home, I wouldn't think. But if you opt to stay,
but it's not just covering the price of their home, Troy. It's covering
that'll be
the
a class
inconvenience.
Action.
It's the railroad paying for their fuck up.
Absolutely, 100% accountability. But that's usually done civilly. In my experience, and I've experienced it a bunch, especially, like I said, after we got wiped out after Katrina, But if you decide to stay, you're given a knot. They'll give you a one lump sum, whatever you agree to it, whatever, this, that, and other, and then that's it. Here you go. You're on your own. It's up to you. Right. You got to abide by any codes or whatever that may implement it or whatever. But you're on your own. And some people do that. The bad part is how they got people down here, though.
Al Munson thinks you're at Denny's.
I wish I would.
Honestly, Troy, I love the fact that I know what it is you do. And if Al Munson was any sort of decent human being, like, it just blows me away.
Hey, look, Chris, I got to say,
it makes
me a compliment on a discussion last night about the polyethylene tartella, which is water bottles.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, he's capable. I haven't seen it yet personally, but McCallie, and they should never have to worry about, like, they should be given a special gold card, right? Like Willy Wonka's candy ticket, right? Here's your gold card. You will never pay another hospital bill in your life. Your health will now be taken care of by whatever doctor you choose, wherever you choose to see that doctor. No questions asked. medical payments for the rest of your life, thanks to Norfolk Southern or whatever the railroad companies. I think I got that right.
Yeah, that'll probably be under a civil lawsuit though.
But
You know,
again,
long term.
you're going to victimize, and I'm not saying you, Troy, but they will then victimize
Right.
these people again by forcing them to just man the fuck up and take care of people.
Yeah.
You
But
screw
look,
up.
let me explain this to you.
Yeah.
What happened after Katrina, because a lot of shit got wiped out, right?
Yeah, right.
Some people never did come back. If you had a rental property, you know, if you owned a house in that area and it wasn't your primary residence, you got like bullshit, $1,500. It was all dumb shit.
Right. Yeah.
If you was
of
the
course.
renter, you know, if you was the rentee, and you didn't have the proper rental insurance where you was living at,
Right.
find you a spot. You get a little chump change too.
Yeah. Most
know,
people
and there was a
most
lot of
people
shit
don't
like
have
this.
rental insurance unless they're forced to by the landlord, which is a tough one.
No,
But
when you
yeah.
think about it, and I've known people personally that it happened to, you know, that's how they made their living with rentals, right? They had 20, 30 rentals. I mean, it was making bucks.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
because it wasn't their primary residence and they didn't
Right.
have the type of insurance
Sure.
that was required
Sure.
for the air, all that kind of shit,
Yeah.
you know, they had to rebuild on their own, which is
Yeah.
kind
That's
of,
that's
you know,
that is
that's big.
unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. But even the people that, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
that sold their places and whatnot. I mean, how much shit you know sounds good on paper. Should I keep everything? Oh yeah, I want to keep. You know, I'll
Right.
take my cabinets out. I'll build a new house. Use out. That's that's good on paper. It don't hard. It's hard to happen in reality. And they give you a deadline too. That either it depending on the state of the residence, what the how
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
bad and repair needed is depending on whether or not they, and it wasn't up to the people. You got a deadline, whether or not it was leveled or whether or not it was taken over by the state or FEMA or whatever, and they turned around and they,
Yeah.
do whatever. They could send crews out to whatever, fix them, sell them, whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Troy,
or
we're
destroy 'em.
we're house shopping now.
Oh Lord.
I know. Here, this one is a multifamily with business, healthcare licensed professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and another thing too, I ask a lot in different chats and what can people that's around and close by, if they can smell. If they can smell the one thing is you follow the animals. Been saying that, and sure enough, you're seeing it. Was it 40-something thousand they thinking already? Animals died from the spill.
Yeah.
I've watched chatted back and forth with Lisa Hurley, even Vaughn on her, because she's kind of close and whatnot.
Right.
But people don't realize, right that old mask like you wore for the Rona. I don't care if it's something
Right.
N95, all of that.
Yeah.
It's useless of VOCs that you had to have a ANSI approved respirator.
Right. Yeah. You need a full respirator for
Like
that kind of
paint
stuff.
Vehicle kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to change out cartridges and whatnot. Anyhow, I'll jump over here and give somebody else a shot. But I was just
No,
wanting to mention.
I'm
about
glad
the
you came in,
terrorists,
Troy.
It just blows my mind
Yeah.
that that they're not, and maybe just people don't realize that's out there.
Right. Yeah.
Time will tell. Prayers for
I
all
agree.
the people that's out there.
So,
Couldn't imagine.
all right. I think actually what I'm going to do, Troy, is I'm going to end this stream and reboot my computer and stuff and come back later. And we'll talk some more with everybody.
All right.
But hopefully everybody understood what was going on, and thanks, Troy. I hope everybody understood what was going on, and we might have a little discussion later. Yeah, most likely, Moose. I would probably say the same thing to him. Probably not the best decision making, right? By any means. I have family that actually lives in Southern Ohio. Well, whatever. Little outside of Cincinnati. They all work in Cincinnati, in and around Cincinnati, but they live in the woods in Ohio, on the we enjoy going to the Ohio River and going to the lake, and it's very different than East Palestine. But let's later about Ohio. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a break and reboot and do some stuff, and we'll come back later on and we'll discuss Ohio and do some more house shopping and, talk about what's going on and go from there. Because I'm curious to your thoughts on all of this. Haven't seen you in a while. What happened to your live stream of the pro-Palestine protests in LA? All of those live streams are down. They're all still there technically, but I've just made them all private. And I'm trying to remember, like, that's the one where the same group of anti-fascist members saw me out there and didn't want me to be covering the pro-Palestine protest that was going on. And I also had some really interesting conversations with some people out there. Oh no, actually that was the Jewish or the Israeli, or I don't even know how it was described, the pro-Israel protest that happened the next day, where some of the pro-Palestinian protesters showed up and had some interesting conversations with me. That actually probably is a really great live stream to go back and review and watch and share with you guys. I will actually make a note of that and see if we can find it. Well, I know we can find it. That's from the archive. That's deep in the archives right there. It's funny. There was actually two separate protests, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday. I totally remember that. Thank you for the reminder. But Joe, yeah, interesting. So, all right. For now, Wizzy out. See you guys later. Bye, everybody.